What makes a story really pop or makes a really wow story is it's pretty simple. It's the human factor. With every piece of content that you create, you have to consider what is in it for the end user. You know, what's in it for the reader or for the viewer of that content. And to me, that means there always has to be an emotional response or a degree of intellectual curiosity. Once you deliver value to people through content, you will increase purchase intent, you'll increase affinity and brand awareness. And I think those are soft qualities that are very, very important. And that's what branded content can do over and above any other type of paid medium. I think there also are practical considerations with this. It's about having a really good relationship with the platforms and the technology. I think a lot of people are very concerned with telling their brand story, but they're not really au fait with how you would do it. Now, to my mind, that means you have to walk the walk and talk the talk. So to me, that means you need to be using the internet and using apps and using platforms pretty much as if you're a 16-year-old, which isn't always that easy. And I think it's about being able to live natively in those platforms. I don't really believe anybody can engage in Snapchat as a brand if they themselves haven't embarrassed themselves by making one really rubbish story and putting it up one afternoon. I think there's also a question around content, which is, do you produce a very small amount and try to focus it, or do you just keep hitting and hope that something's going to win? I think you have to have a certain amount of creative volume. The practices and the platforms and the processes have to be in place in order to continuously create content in order for anything really amazing to happen. And in order to be interesting in a conversation, just like in real life, you can't just talk about yourself. You have to provide some value. And that's what it comes back to every time, is listening to the audience and providing the value that they're asking for. I think there is a lot of conversation around what is the right balance to strike between long form and short form content. I think for brands, though, it is largely about purpose and context. So some platforms, for example, will dictate the length of a piece of content. And then the other thing is purpose. I think some ideas come out and they already dictate the format that they have to take. If you're going to tackle a sensitive subject, that probably has to be done with a bit more care and a bit more time. So I think if you're engaging in social and producing content, largely short form is where you're going to be playing, because it places less of a demand on the bypasser, on the user who is otherwise just living in their social stream, passing your brand. And I think there is probably more of a potential for success and for penetration if you're going to keep that message short and concise and deliver value.